Good morning, students.
Good morning, sir.
Thank you. Sit down, sit down. So today, we have come here to discuss about a topic which is known as linear equations in two variables. Okay? Yes?
Sir, what is variable?
I'll explain that to you. Sure, sit down. So, as he asked, all of us have studied linear equations in one variable. I think we have been studying that from standard 7. And still, there are students who are not clear about what is a variable, which is a very, very important thing. Okay? You need to understand what is a variable, what is a constant, and only then you'll be able to understand linear equations in two variables. Suppose I write this, which you all must be knowing about. For example, 4x plus 7 is equal to 19. Suppose I write this. Yes?
What is an equation?
I'll tell you. Sit down. I'll explain everything. I'll tell you what is a variable. I'll tell you what is an equation. I have written an equation which has a variable. Okay? So this is an equation. Let me explain what is that. Here we have 4x plus 7 is equal to 19. And we have given an equal sign in the middle. That means whatever is written over here is equal to this. Okay? Now, how can we do that? Let us first solve this equation. So, it's 4x is equal to 19 minus 7. 4x is equal to 12. X is equal to 3. I don't think I need to explain this. This is a pretty simple equation for all of you.
Yes.
So, x is equal to 3. Now, think about this. Now, you'll understand what is an equation, what is a variable. Put this 3 over here on the left hand side of the equation. All of us know this is LHS, which is left hand side, and this is RHS, which means right hand side. The LHS and the RHS of the equation should always be equal. So if we put 3 here, it becomes 4 into 3 plus 7. So 4 3s are 12 plus 7, which is equal to 19, which is equal to the right hand side. That is why it is known as an equation, because the left hand side and the right hand side will always be equal.
Yes, sir.
Now, your question, what is a variable? So this quantity x, which we are not aware of, which we do not know what that is, what is the value of that, is known as a variable.
Yes, sir.
Why do we call it a variable? Now understand this. We call it a variable because in this case, the value of x is equal to 3. We got the value of x as 3. But if we go to a different question, the value of x will change. That is why it is known as a variable, because vary, V-A-R-Y, vary means change, which is different from the other. That is why we call it a variable. And the numbers, that means this and this, are known as constants. What are they known as? Constants. Why do we call them constants? Very simple. Because 19 in this question will be 19. In the next question also it will be 19. In the third question the value of 19 will be 19. It would not change. Got my point? So you understood what is a variable and you understood what is an equation. I think all of us understood. Now we'll come to the topic of two variables. In this one, this is an example of equation in one variable. Now we get to two variables. Let's see how that is. So you have understood till here? Everyone?
Yes, sir.
Good. Now as we said, here x is one variable. So that is why we call it linear equation in one variable. Now if I write this, 2x plus 3y is equal to 18. Now we see here that we have x over here and y over here. So the values of x will change in the next question, y will also change in the next question.
Yes, sir.
That is why this is linear equation in two variables, and the two variables are x and y. Okay? So in standard 10, we'll try to understand how to solve an equation so that we get the values of both the variables. So can we get the values of both the variables only with this equation? That is not possible. So whenever we are solving linear equation two variables, you will get two equations. When we are solving these type of questions, the two equations will be given. But when we are solving questions, statement questions, there will be statements given so that we can make two equations, create two equations. Okay. Suppose the other one is 3x plus 8y is equal to 46. I'm just taking examples. Okay. So we'll try to understand this right now.
Sir,
Yes.
I have thought about elimination method. Can you explain what that is?
Yes, that is actually the first method. Thank you. So now, I was going to explain that because that is the first, the foremost and the simplest method which we use in linear equation in two variables. We'll start, there are other methods as well, but we'll start with linear elimination method. Let's see what elimination. As the word says, elimination. The meaning of elimination is to remove something. What is the meaning? To remove something. So that is what we exactly do here in these kinds of equations. So we have x over here, we have y over here, we have x over here. What we do is we remove either x or y from the equation and we can get the value of the other variable. So how do we do that? Let's see. Here we have 2x and here we have 3x. So all of us know we can multiply, subtract, add to the equation, but we have to do it on both the sides. So what we do is 2 and 3. The LCM is 6. So we multiply this equation with 3 and we multiply this equation with 2. Okay. So what does this equation becomes? 3 2s are 6x plus 3 3s are 9y is equal to 18 3s are 54. And this one 2 3s are 6x plus 2 8s are 16y is equal to 92. This is what the equations become. Now we see that here also we got 6x, here also we got 6x. So what we'll do is we'll subtract this equation from this one. Minus, this plus becomes minus, this plus becomes minus, and this plus also becomes minus. This one will be cancelled. 9y minus 16y will be minus 7y is equal to 92 minus 54 will be, this will be 60 and then 36 and to 38 minus 38. Okay, so y will be minus and minus will both get cancelled. Y is equal to 38.7. So we can just change it to mixed fractions, which is 7 5 is 35. 7. We got the value of y now.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now what we are going to do is we'll put the value of y in one of the equations and we'll get the value of
X.
x.
Yes.
We can do that. So now do you understand why do we call it the elimination method? Because what we did is initially we eliminated y from both the equations. Okay, we removed y from both the equations and only x. We removed actually x from both the equations and we were left with only y. Okay, and we got the value of y. Once we get the value of one of the variables, okay, what happens is we can easily get the value of the other variable. What we have to do is, suppose we got it at 38/7, so this is 2x plus 3y is equal to 18. What we can do is 2x plus 3 into y is how much? 38/7 is equal to 18. So 2x plus, this is 3 is at 24, 114/7 is equal to 18. So 2x is equal to 18 minus 114/7. We can solve this. We can find the value of x.
Yes, yes.
Isn't the method quite easy?
Yes,
This
yes.
method is very easy.
Yes, sir.
And that is why most of the times in linear equations in two variables we use this method known as the elimination method.
Yes.
We have other methods as well which we'll discuss later on. But understand this. Okay? Do you want me to show you another example? Or should we take an example from the book?
Yes, sir.